The first time I ever heard about Stoicism was when my parents used a German expression called stoische Ruhe, stoic calm. The phrase usually describes someone who seems to be unfazed in the face of adversity. With stoic calm, he accepted his plight, we might say. Someone who has stoic calm is not invincible but unshakable, and if you're looking to develop this and other stoic qualities, what better place to start than a selection of the best stoic quotes? Well, you've come to the right place. In this organized list, you'll discover the best ideas from 10 early stoic philosophers. You'll also learn which 10 stoic quotes are the most popular based on reader votes. Furthermore, we'll look at 10 popular quotes from modern-day Stoics, and I'll share my 14 personal favorites as well, for a total of 44 quotes about Stoicism. Finally, I'll list the exact sources for all quotes, show you where you can find more Stoic quotes, and share some cool custom images for posting your favorites to social media. I'll even provide a little background on what Stoicism is and why this 2,300-year-old philosophy is still worth studying today. Top 10 Stoic quotes from the most famous Stoic philosophers. If you want to grasp the most important Stoic ideas, self-reflection, restraint, taking action, and acceptance, in a nutshell, you could do worse than start with these lines from 10 quintessential Stoics. We've sorted them chronologically based on when their originators lived. Technically, Heraclitus, who lived around 500 BC, wasn't a Stoic, but his ideas greatly influenced all subsequent philosophers. Zeno, born 334 BC, is considered the founder of Stoicism, and Marcus Aurelius can be deemed the last great Stoic before the decline of the Roman Empire. Here are some of their, and other famous Stoics, best thoughts. 1. You could not step twice into the same river. Heraclitus 2. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we speak. Zeno of Citium 3. Fate guides the willing, but drags the unwilling. Cleanthes 4. There could be no justice unless there were also injustice, no courage unless there were cowardice, no truth unless there were falsehood. Chrysippus 5. Let your desires be ruled by reason. Cicero 6. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid. Cato the Younger. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca 8. If you accomplish something good with hard work, the labor passes quickly, but the good endures. If you do something shameful in pursuit of pleasure, the pleasure passes quickly, but the shame endures. Musonius Rufus. 9. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the principles and notions which they form concerning things. Epictetus 10. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. 11. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Marcus Aurelius. 12. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius 13. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. Epicurus 14. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Seneca 15. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius 16. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius 17. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Seneca 18. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius 19. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius 20. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone. Epictetus 21. Your potential, the absolute best you're capable of, that's the metric to measure yourself against. Your standards are, winning is not enough. People can get lucky and win. People can be assholes and win. Anyone can win, but not everyone is the best possible version of themselves. Ryan Holiday 22. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Reinhold Niebuhr 23. People will choose unhappiness over uncertainty. Timothy Ferris 24. As a Stoic, I must despise injury, or rather, I must not feel it, must not be affected by it so that it cannot violate the freedom of my soul. Alexandra David Nail 25. Our happiness is not to be found in the judgments of others or in things outside of our control. Ariana Huffington 26. Having to fight for the thing you want doesn't mean you deserve it any less. Anna Kendrick 27. Complaining does not work as a strategy. We all have finite time and energy. Any time we spend whining is unlikely to help us achieve our goals. And it won't make us happier. Randy Pausch 28. We love being mentally strong, but we hate situations that allow us to put our mental strength to good use. Mokokoma Mokonoana 29. A Stoic is someone who transforms fear into prudence, pain into transformation, mistakes into initiation, and desire into undertaking. Nassim Taleb 30. Hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. Jerzy Gregorek 31. We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it. Life is long if you know how to use it. Seneca 32. Let the mind be disciplined to understand and to endure its own lot. Let it have the knowledge that there is nothing which fortune does not dare, that she has the same jurisdiction over empires as over emperors, the same power over cities as over the citizens who dwell therein. We must not cry out at any of these calamities. Into such a world have we entered, and under such laws do we live. Seneca 33. Receive without pride. Let go without attachment. Marcus Aurelius 34. Make peace again with destiny, the destiny that unravels all ties. We are unequal at birth, but are equal in death. Seneca 35. Given that all must die, it is better to die with distinction than to live long. Musonius Rufus 36. Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Marcus Aurelius 37. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested. But when it is wasted in heedless luxury and spent on no good activity, we are forced at last by death's final constraint to realize that it has passed away before we knew it was passing. Seneca 38. Nothing ought to be unexpected by us. Our minds should be sent forward in advance to meet all problems, and we should consider not what is wont to happen, but what can happen. Seneca 39. Freedom isn't secured by filling up on your heart's desire, but by removing your desire. Epictetus 40. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. Seneca 41. Wherever a person can live, there one can also live well. Marcus Aurelius 42. So you must not think a man has lived long because he has white hair and wrinkles. He has not lived long, just existed long. For suppose you should think that a man had had a long voyage who had been caught in a raging storm as he left harbor, and carried hither and thither, and driven round and round, in a circle by the rage of opposing winds. He did not have a long voyage, just a long tossing about. Seneca 43. You shouldn't give circumstances the power to rouse anger, for they don't care at all. Marcus Aurelius 44. It would be tedious to recount all the ways by which fate may come, but this one thing I know. All the works of mortal man have been doomed to mortality, and in the midst of things which have been destined to die, we live. Seneca. The best answer to anger is silence. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Confine yourself to the present. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Barbie King. You can commit injustice by doing nothing. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Each day provides its own gifts. Give yourself a gift at the present moment. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. Have I been made for this? To lie under the blankets and keep myself warm? Conceal a flaw and the world will imagine the worst. Life is neither good or evil, but only a place for good and evil. Stoic. I cannot escape death, but at least I can escape the fear of it. How trivial the things we want so passionately are. Settle on the type of person you want to be and stick to it, whether alone or in company. Consider at what price you sell your integrity, but please, for God's sake, don't sell it cheap. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Ignorance is the cause of fear. While we wait for life, life passes. Life is long, if you know how to use it. Hurry up and live. Cease to hope, and you will cease to fear. Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool. Only time can heal what reason cannot. Stoic. While we are postponing, life speeds by. Life, if well lived, is long enough. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms, you will be able to use them better when you are older. He who is brave is free. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. It is more civilized to make fun of life than to bewail it. Difficulty comes from our lack of confidence. Stoic life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. What really ruins our character is the fact that none of us looks back over his life. Religion is regarded by the common people as true, by the wise as false, and by rulers as useful. It does not matter how many books you have, but how good are the books which you have. When a person spends all his time in foreign travel, he ends by having many acquaintances but no friends. For many men, the acquisition of wealth does not end their troubles. It only changes them. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. No man is free who is not master of himself. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. It is difficulties that show what men are. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. No great thing is created suddenly. Stoic. Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. It is the nature of the wise to resist pleasures, but the foolish to be a slave to them. First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. If you want something good, get it yourself. All the good are friends of one another. No loss should be more regrettable to us than losing our time, for it's irretrievable. Extravagance is its own destroyer. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Steel your sensibilities so that life shall hurt you as little as possible. Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. A bad feeling is a commotion of the mind, repugnant to reason and against nature. We begin to lose our hesitation to do immoral things when we lose our hesitation to speak of them. Humanity must seek what is not simple and obvious, using the simple and obvious. Since every man dies, it is better to die with distinction than to live long. Only by exhibiting actions in harmony with the sound words which he has received will anyone be helped by philosophy. Thus, whoever destroys human marriage destroys the home, the city, the whole human race. He with the most who is content with the least. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Blushing is the color of virtue. Dogs and philosophers do the greatest good and get the fewest rewards. I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. He mob is the mother of tyrants. Poverty is a virtue which one can teach oneself. Introduction to Stoicism. Explaining the core principles of Stoicism, its origins, and key Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. Stoic mindset shift. Discussing how adopting a Stoic mindset can change one's perspective on life, emphasizing the focus on what's within our control. Daily Stoic habits. Exploring practical habits and exercises rooted in Stoic philosophy that viewers can incorporate into their daily routines. Stoic virtues and practice. Delving into the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance and how to embody them in modern life. Stoicism and emotional resilience. Addressing how Stoicism helps build emotional resilience, manage stress, and navigate challenging situations. Gratitude and Stoicism. Highlighting the role of gratitude in Stoicism and its impact on mental well-being. Living in the present moment. Exploring Stoic techniques for mindfulness and being present in the moment. Stoicism and decision-making. Discussing how Stoic principles can guide decision-making and promote clarity in choices. Overcoming adversity with Stoicism. Sharing stories and examples of individuals who applied Stoic philosophy to overcome adversity. Putting Stoic principles into action. Offering a summary and actionable steps for viewers to start applying Stoic principles immediately. Each episode could combine philosophical teachings with practical advice, anecdotes, and perhaps interviews with experts or individuals who have implemented Stoicism in their lives. The goal would be to inspire viewers to embrace Stoic philosophy as a tool for personal growth and positive change.